Recently, Lagos State was plunged into a wave of destruction by hoodlums after the End SARS protests, which affected various micro, small, and medium-scale enterprises. These wanton destruction threatened the livelihood of over 4,075 business owners across the state, who were greatly affected by the vandalization of their business infrastructure. These actions prompted the swift launch of the Lagos MSME Recovery Fund by the Lagos State Employment Trust Fund, LSETF, to support the affected businesses and to stem the imminent job losses that would have happened as a result. You're welcome to Ladies Talking Business on Plus TV Africa. I'm Moremi Akonwo, your host. On today's episode, we will be discussing business resilience for MSMEs in Lagos. And discussing this with me is our guest, the Executive Secretary of the Lagos State Employment Trust Fund, LSCTF, Teju Abisoye. She is a lawyer with extensive experience in development finance, project planning, execution, monitoring and evaluation of humanitarian projects, and many more. Thank you for joining us on the show today, Teju.
It's a pleasure to be here, Marimi.
Great. So let's just go right in. Tell us about the Lagos State Employment Trust Fund. So what was it established to do?
The Employment Trust Fund was set up in 2016 to address youth unemployment in Lagos State. We creatively or strategically addressed this by supporting small, medium enterprises. We provide skills for young people, and then we support the tech ecosystem to make sure there's access to infrastructure, talents, and investments when necessary. But for us, the critical thing at Lagos State Employment Trust Fund is to put people to work.
Okay, so because you said youth earlier on, so I was going to say it's just for the young people, 18 to, I think youth nowadays are 18 to 45 or 40 or thereabout. Or is there no age restriction?
Well, it depends on who is defining it. Some have even defined it up to 20, as low as 24, some to 35, some to 45.
Yeah.
So there are different categories of who is defining. But yes, we're not limited to youth, young people, but as long as it's the young people that are getting the jobs, that's what is very critical for us.
I agree, very true. Okay, so our topic is business resilience, building business resilience. What is business resilience?
Well, if you ask me, I'm not the, well, what I would say is that it's the ability of a business to actually recover in terms of economic downturns, in terms of whatever the situation in the country or the economy is. How resilient is your business to shocks or to whatever can happen in an economy? That's what we talk about. That's when we talk about business resilience.
Great. So these are trying times for both human beings and businesses. I'm sure you'd agree. So we've been dealing with the outbreak of COVID-19, which has affected people, affected businesses. That practically put the world on standstill. I never imagined that could ever happen in my life. Even Nigeria, it was so hard to see Nigeria put on hold. So due to these factors, there's also the current factor of increase in Forex. How can businesses in Nigeria, especially small businesses, MSMEs, how can they build resilience to thrive in situations like this?
So I think that, first of all, is to look at the business one is doing and confirm, is there a market for it?
Okay.
Is there an opportunity to pivot into something else? And then are there areas you can partner with people such that you can reduce cost in your business? So if you sell accessories, is there somebody selling clothes that you can share the space to display your product? Can you share facilities or can you share resources? So do I need to employ my own independent accountant if I can share resources with another business, accountants, lawyers? But the idea is, how do I reduce costs so that the margins or the difference in terms of my revenues are not totally affected in such a way that my business needs to shut down? So because most likely it's for a period of time. The business, everything will come back, economy will get back on its feet, production we hope will gear up again very soon. So what do you do within that time frame where you want to manage your available resources to make sure that your business survives that challenging period?
Interesting. So you said something about, you didn't say directly, but partnership. I think that's quite important this period, partnering with someone to reduce your costs and to basically thrive.
Yes, collaboration.
Collaboration. That was the word I was looking for, collaboration. Okay, so let's talk about the roles LSCTF plays, or rather is playing in helping MSMEs that were affected during the looting caused by hoodlums. It's a very, very sad situation, really. So how many businesses have applied for the fund so far?
So I think at the end of, by the 30th of November, we had received over 4,170 applications or thereabout. We found 100 and something numbers in duplicates, and we came to 4,075 total unique identified businesses. And then we went to do verifications for that. And then after the verification, we can confirm today that 1,900 plus had valid claims. People that had been looted, people had broken their infrastructure, they had destroyed inventory at those businesses. But from the 1,000 plus that today we classify them as no claims, some of them have not been available for that inspection or that verification, where people are saying, oh, I'm out of Lagos right now, I had to shut down, I don't know what. Some people just didn't know what to do. They felt a bit hopeless and just dumped everything and left. But so far, we've been able to validate over 1,900 claims.
Wow. So by validation, are those the people that have also been credited so far?
No. So we've credited over 1,100 as of today. So we're working with a lot of our partners, and we must say thank you to all our partners and our donors that have been part of this journey with us. We're working with them for the disbursement. So some of them have chosen to disburse directly to the partners, to the businesses.
To the businesses, okay.
Some of them are disbursing to LSCTF to do the disbursement. So we're working, all of us, everybody has their own processes to follow. Okay. So that's what it takes time for us a bit. But we're hoping to close and have disbursed to everybody by the first week in February.
Oh.
Yeah, we want to close it because we have other things to do.
Okay, so you said something about verification. What's the process of verification like? What do you have to do to know that, okay, this is a legit claim? Okay,
so basically what happened was people filed their claims on a form. Okay. And then an independent person, not LSCTF staff, goes to the business. They need to provide evidence. If they've cleaned up the destruction, they need to provide evidence of that destruction. In some cases, they needed to provide their bank statements showing proof of inventory or that the business was a going concern even before the vandalization. The kind of income they were making, the amount they spent on their last inventory, what they had recouped since that time. Before the vandalization, and those are kind of documentation that was used to determine valid claims. And it did help us get to identify some invalid.
To really sort the batch out. Yes. Amazing. Yes. Okay, so we'll just continue with this right after the break. We will take a quick break now and be back with more talk with our guest right after the break.
The organizers of the Most Valuable Governor's Wives Awards proudly announces the awards ceremony, Sheraton Hotel Abuja, March 23rd, 2021, 6 p.m.
What we do not understand, we will stigmatize.
What you can see is the remaining of the tanker that exploded.
It's also equally confessed.
A 500 naira they collect them.
If you no talk, then go beat you.
Now 2,500 and they pay.
and his spokespeople appear to have viewed Venezuela's recent ban on 7-7.
Politics has helped shape the decision of the polity, from conspiracy theories to good old-fashioned comic politics.
These are the result of tomorrow's election. Okay, you have it already, Abi.
I am not hungry. If I need appointment, all I need to do is to start praising government.
Plus, politics will fill the polls of the country, from friends to frenemies, even strange bedfellows, to clones and stooges. We go beyond the rhetorics and the drama to analyze the story behind the story.
Let everybody come and say. The moment we stop having charlatans occupy political offices, we will curtail hate speech.
Plus, politics, not just another political show. It's about putting you, the citizens, in the know.
Thanks for staying with us. You are still watching Ladies Talking Business on Plus TV Africa. And our guest for today is the Executive Secretary of the Lagos State Employment Trust Fund, LSCTF, Tejo Abisoye. Okay, so we're talking about you identifying legit applications, from that whole batch. So what is the time frame for recovery? So some people have applied since November. Did they start getting credited that November or December? So roughly how long does the process take?
If I recall, we started crediting people in November. So the process was, after you have been verified, it goes through a steering committee who then approves the disbursement of the grant to the business. The business then receives a grant offer that they must sign, put their account details, because we didn't have the account details. If you're not banked, you have to write unbanked, and then you have to open an account. Then once we go through that process, and then we go through an internal payment process, we disburse the funds to the beneficiaries. But some of the issues we've experienced with people giving us the wrong account numbers, the account number doesn't match the name of the business, it doesn't match the name of the promoter. And then you ask, oh, no, it was my husband's account. I say you should pay the money into. Sorry, we don't do that here.
People do things like that.
No, but it just tells you that information, people sometimes just don't know. People sometimes do play ignorant, though, because they're trying to be smart. But the truth is that sometimes people just don't know that this is a formal process. We're paying a grant. It has to go to a business. And, but we then have to go through those delays back and forth. But once we then disburse to you, we follow up to confirm where your business has started, what other challenges, do you need additional facilities? Then we refer you to our partner banks. If LSCTF cannot provide it, we refer you to our partner banks for additional facilities.
So it's good you mentioned the grants, because I was going to ask you, so are they loans or are they grants? But you've actually cleared that to say that they are grants. So are there any special sectors you consider before funding, or if you have a legit claim and you've passed the criteria, you get funded?
Anybody that had a valid claim will be funded. It has nothing to do with the sector. But of course, the number of jobs that we're protecting at this time is also very critical. The gravity of the damage is also important. So it wasn't a one-size-fits-all. It was individual claims were evaluated.
Okay. From, this event of looting that happened, you could just tell that a lot of businesses felt it deeply because they had no insurance. And insurance in this part of the world is something that we are still not used to. We don't understand how it works. Maybe only big businesses have insurance today, but how about the MSMEs? So is that something that the LSCTF is doing to now sensitize people, just in case, we don't pray for this to happen again, but is this something you're doing to sensitize people on the importance of insurance, especially for MSMEs?
And I think that's very important. And I think it's not just LSCTF to do it. I think it's going to be us and a lot of partner insurance companies. We must help people understand the advantages of having insurance. And insuring against specific incidences, and not including flood, because we're talking about Lagos here. From the recovery fund, only 90 out of the entire claims, the valid claims, only 3% had insurance, and they were not the micro businesses. They were more of people who had over 10 employees that had insurance. You know, so that would tell you that it was the bigger businesses that had insurance. Insurance is not things, people don't understand the importance of it's the premium they see. I don't understand.
Why would they ask me to pay? Nothing will happen. My shop is covered. You know, nothing will happen.
In Jesus' name.
In Jesus' name.
Yes, but the truth is, insurance is very critical. It's important for every business to insure, not just the life insurance against arson, against flood, security, different things.
Theft, all manner of things.
Everything. When you think about Nigeria, insurance is very critical.
I think a lot of organizations need to get in with that program. You need insurance, whether you're a small business, and I won't be surprised if there are insurance companies that have, you know, packages for really, really small businesses.
So there are now quite a number, and I know that there's a particular one that offer micro insurance. And I mean by micro is a daily payment of your premium to the point where it's very convenient for you to pay your premium. And you're insured to a certain value for that, and you know, but you pay your premium over it's much longer. You don't have to pay a bullet sum at the beginning of every year. You can pay it weekly, you can pay it monthly. And the idea is to paying your premium easier, especially for the micro businesses.
It makes sense. It just makes a whole lot of sense. So we will now take a break, and we will be back with you after the break.
What is a democracy? It's a government of all of us, for all of us. So when we try to paint that picture, like you mentioned in your advocacy, they call you a hater.
The police remains brutal. They continue to do the same thing they were doing before that time. So can we just get more participatory in the process, including this generation?
Where is the hope? What's going to change? How is it going to change?
The lesson is that we need each other.
True.
And so this idea of we are better off than these other people, we should drop it.
Unfortunately, we live in a country of compromise that clearly, actually militantly, says we don't want the best. Just give us the one that is okay.
We have seen that the street did not deliver much dividend. It didn't. As a matter of fact, the people in power cowered them into submission. Let's get more involved.
You are still watching Ladies Talking Business on Plus TV Africa. So far, we have been speaking with Teju Abisoye, the Executive Secretary of the Lagos State Employment Trust Fund, LSETF. Thanks for staying with us so far. Okay, so can you tell us about some of the loan facilities that your organization has for maybe businesses general, or do you have specific ones for women?
Oh, yes, we do. So thank you for that, Marimi. So at the Lagos State Employment Trust Fund, our flagship program is support to small, medium enterprises. And the idea is that micro, small, and medium enterprises. And the flagship program is access to affordable financing. So when we started, we offer loans at single digits with a maximum of 10%. And we have programs specific to sectors and to women entrepreneurship. In partnership with Access Bank, we have an LSCTFW initiative, which we are disbursing at 10% to women businesses, as long as they meet all the criteria.
Over a period of how long?
For a maximum of 36 months, they have access to up to 5 million. And that particular program is sector agnostic. That means you can be in any sector. You just have to be at least 50% owner of that business as a woman, or be the manager of the business. That program is one of our very core programs at LSCTF. We have another program for schools, proprietors for schools, and and vocational training centers. That's in partnership with First Bank, and we're disbursing that at 9% for all schools affected, especially post-COVID lockdown. We wanted them to have access to affordable finance. And the interesting thing, and the same program for schools we have with Edfin Microfinance Bank. But what is critical for us is that not just do we provide that access to affordable financing, but we provide capacity development, advisory services, legal, HR, accounting. We want to help businesses increase productivity. It's very critical to us. That is not just that we've left you with the funding. Money. If we can provide markets, we have those discussions as well, access to markets, because so one of the things we're working with the Lagos State government now is where small businesses can be part of vendors in Lagos State, so that they're giving, they can not necessarily lower the standards for businesses to be able to provide services to the government, but to reduce the parameters around things around the annual turnover, the number of years you need to be in existence, or
before you can offer such services.
Before you can offer the services. That's very critical to us. So we do provide different loan programs for different categories in business. If you're in tourism, if you're in hospitality, we have another program that is available.
Entertainment?
Yes, like and entertainment. No, so it's part of tourism. It's actually part of the Tourism, Arts and Culture Fund, where you can access that through the LSCTF. We support the creative sector as well. So what I advise people is please look online at our website. You will see the different programs. And it's at lsctf.ng to ask about the products that are available and what any business can access at this time in Lagos State.
You heard that, people. So don't forget to go on their website to find out more information about the programs she's just talked about. So let's talk about the key achievements of the LSCTF to date since 2016. So what are the key things that you're proud of when you think of you're like, okay, I'm proud of these things which we've achieved?
Oh, yes, for us at LSCTF, I think for us what success looks like is really where LSCTF has been able to intervene or provide an intervention to a business, and the business has been able to increase productivity by employing more people, raising additional financing with that equity, But the idea for us is that whoever we've supported has been able to increase their productivity. As of today, we've been able to support almost 15,000 businesses with different categories of intervention, ranging from loans, promotion, training, capacity development, different types of intervention. And then, of course, the grants that we did more recently. With training, we've been able to train over 5,000 young people.
On vocational
As of over 8,000 people with vocational skills. Some, not just vocational, soft skills in some cases. We had a partnership with Coursera where people, over 1,500 have completed their Coursera.
Are they free? Are the trainings free?
For now. Okay. So there was, it ended on the 31st of December. Okay. But you didn't have to pay to sign on to Coursera and start taking their courses. A lot of people have finished their courses. Over 1,000 people finished courses in training. And then we've done over 5,000 in vocational skills. And we've been able to place over 60% of that in jobs, with some of them even starting their own business. In the technology space, we've been able to support over 120 businesses with access to vouchers, infrastructure, where we give them workspace vouchers. We've been able to help.
You don't see these things out there. So is there a platform that just shows the
things
that
we need to do more with?
Yeah.
We need to do
People
more with
need to know that these services are even available, and they need to know more of what you've done.
We do. We need to do more.
They are commendable things. Well done, LSCTF.
We've supported over 20 new ideas, and we have 60 in the pipelines that we want to actually take live this year, 2021. Where we've actually helped them with mentoring program. They've met mentors. They've been able to take their business to the next level. So yes, we are doing a lot of work.
I mean, it leads to my next question, because I was going to ask what is underway for MSMEs in 2021. So what should they look out for?
So we have a lot of plans for 2021. Part of the strategic things we're thinking of in 2021 is also the support we can provide to micro businesses in business parks, where they can have access to all their tools, access to space, working in such a way that is easier for anybody that has a skill to start work. And as part of the business pack would also be training. So where you don't have the skill, you can actually learn it in the business park and know that the facility or the what you require to start earning is already part of that pack. Okay. So that's part of our programs. We're going to increase our numbers in terms of talent development, especially in the technology space. And of course, our loan programs, we have over 5 billion to disburse for this year. We hope people do take advantage of that.
People, they have over 5 billion to disburse, so please do take advantage and just visit the website, call the customer care numbers if you need clarification on anything. And I would like to say congratulations on your induction into the Amujai. Is it Amujai? Did I pronounce it?
Amujai.
Amujai Leadership Network. Okay, so tell us more about the network and what's it going to do for you personally and to your career? Because I think there are about 11 or 15 women that get that opportunity from Africa.
So there are 15 women from 11 countries. There are 3 Nigerians.
And you're one of them.
But we can, yes. And you can imagine with our size, so it's expected. But the idea of the Amujai Leadership Initiative or the network of the Erling Sirleaf Johnson Center is to actually help women be their best in public office. How do you use a network of women in the same space to share experience, learn from people who have been in public office and are still in public office? So people with more experience than us that we can learn from. And if you read the bios of a lot of them, some of them are former governors, ministers, that I am going to get the opportunity to be learning from. It means a lot for me as a woman in leadership. Because what we women need more than ever is a support network, a support system that can help us thrive in our position of leadership, where we can learn how to handle situations, where, you know, sometimes as a woman leader, you're talking, but they're not hearing you. Just because you're a woman, not because you're not saying what they want to hear. But how do you handle those situations? Those are the kind of things we get to learn. And of course, I'm hoping to inspire a lot more women to go into public office, to get involved.
I'm beginning to feel inspired.
To get involved in the public space. Okay. And because it's critical that we're ahead, that we're part of, because we're more than 50% of the population, or at least 50%. We need to be active. We need to be involved. We need to be part of the informed decisions. Don't let us leave our lives in the hands of people that don't understand what we go through.